No, sorry, you didn't see anything. And we're live! Welcome to the Crafty Boys, where we drink beer and talk about bullshit. Hi, boys. How's it going?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Tonight's beer, we are going to go to the eastern side of the country, and we are going to say something like, "Hey, Locke, what beer are you drinking, man?"
Okay, so in honor of today was International Women's Day, so I am currently located just outside of Gravenhurst, and in Gravenhurst is a awesome brewery called Sawdust City.
I've heard of
And
it.
they have a
Sawdust
drink.
City. Nice.
Yes, and they have a drink called the Princess Wears Girl Pants.
The Princess Wears Girl Pants.
Nice.
Princess Wears Girl Pants.
Nice.
So all of you international women out there, this is your day, and you wear girl pants.
Excellent. And let's hear that baby open.
I shall recite the literature on the can.
right.
Belgian beers are great. Hops are fantastic. Friends are important. We know these are universal truths. We also know that it's easy to take things for granted. So it's imperative that we remind ourselves how important they are. That is why we brew the Princess Wears Girl Pants, a hoppy Belgian-inspired golden ale loaded with hops and with an ABV worthy of sharing with friends. So grab a can, a few friends, and remind yourself how lucky you are.
Nice.
All right. Let's
All right.
let's see what this thing is all about here.
Oh, nice glassware.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we have a fairly light in color.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a lager from this end of the world.
Actually, it looks like a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beer colored.
It's beer colored, and it has
As-
foam on top.
Yes, as the head is developing, it is clarifying somewhat. This is this is a very hop forward Belgian.
Nice. And
It's got that sort of tangy, but sort of apricot-y, a little bit tanniny. It's like a really it's sort of occupying a flavor space sort of between a wit beer and a saison, like a farmhouse, you know. It's a little bit of a funky back end, I guess, when I'm referencing a farmhouse. So this is 9%, I will add. This is
I was not expecting that at all.
Wow.
Yeah, no, this is now they didn't say.
So after drinking this, the princess isn't going to be wearing pants, maybe.
No. The princess wore girl pants is maybe what this is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know that if I've had a pretty strong beer, I tend to lose my
Idaho
pants.
7 and Cashmere. I've been seeing Cashmere hops showing up more and more.
Okay.
IBU of 35. Fuck yeah, this is this is very nice. I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. Yeah.
So are cashmere hops like a regional kind of thing?
I don't know a lot about them, but the last time I had a beer that was particularly showcasing cashmere hops, it was that Duval which was developed normally known kind of for being kind of in that Belgian-y sort of punch you in the face, strongish sort of Northern European, but not quite Scandinavian styles.
Right.
Okay. I'm not sure if somebody left me to my own devices if I could identify cashmere hops just by flavor profile.
Right.
But the through line. Oh, shut up, you. The through line, so far as I can see, is it's kind of bold but kind of velvety. It's not a sharp hop, you know what I mean? It's not like that citrusy brightness you get from Citra hops or yeah.
Okay. All right. I have beer in a can. I don't know what it is. It's been sitting in my fridge for like 5,000 years.
So this is day 3 of the space case, the 2022 space case from Phillips Brewing. Shane and I have been doing this one on the side every now and then, but we're kind of like we're stuck on day 3 here, and it's been sitting around. So we thought we'd do it tonight.
How many days in a space case?
12.
12 days in a space case. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the Phillips Brewing and Malting Company Funk Adjacent Sash Trois IPA.
Now, what's interesting is that there is a picture here. I can't decide if this is James Brown or
James Brown,
or the guy that's on the tail of the Alaska Airlines airplanes.
He does kind of look like that, but that is definitely James Brown. James Brown. Hey, Peanut Gallery.
He's more of a James
Brown
shaped jelly bean from where I'm looking at him.
And there's a big arrow coming out of his head down to the Funk Adjacent thing.
Yeah.
Flavor notes: tropical, nectarine, pine, and floral. That's an interesting mix. So I don't know what a Sash Trois IPA is exactly, but it says give the people what they want, when they want, and they wants it all the time. I see these are James Brown lyrics on the side of the can here. Give the people what they need, when they need, and the need is yours and mine. Deep in pain, I called the names of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's just lyrics.
So Sash Trois is the yeast that was used in the beer to make said beer.
Now, did you find, Shane, that yours blew up when you
it did not.
It did not. Mine kind of did. While Locke was going and explaining his beer, I was opening mine and was in damage control mode, trying to keep the beer contained as it was like foaming up out of just as I cracked it, it was like the Manhattan Project. 3 Mile Island.
This is very smooth.
It is really smooth. And it's weird because it said it was fruity and piney at the same time. I totally taste it.
Okay.
It does.
It's fruity and piney at the same time. I would love to know the IBU rating on this.
Well, let's see. The Sashra IPA, the Funk Adjacent. Let's see if I can find some information about them.
So this thing comes in at 6.5% while Shane's looking that up.
6.5%. There is no IBU rating on the review websites. and it's not on their website right now.
Well, no, and that's because it came out of the space case,
So,
which is
well, I was
12
hoping they would
unique
actually start
beers.
listing them, but yeah. So who knows? But it kind of to me feels like a 20, maybe a 30. You know, we've been drinking beers so long, we can identify the.
I'm gonna go with probably more towards 30.
Yeah.
It does have that pininess to it, that bit of a kick, but there's that sweetness to it as well that kind of balances it out. It's kind of weird. Like normally I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't think that they complement each other, but in this case it does. This is a really enjoyable beer.
Well, it's definitely. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It is one of those things that makes me happy.
I would love it if you could get this on Alaska Airlines.
I'm actually. Can you actually order beer on Alaska Airlines on a plane? I guess you can, can't you?
Well, yeah.
I don't think I've ever bought any though.
They take off. It's not like you can do like, skip or something while you're on.
Yeah.
Suddenly, a helicopter flies alongside the airplane. I got your pizza.
It's right here. But anyway, overall, thumbs up. I give this beer a decent I love you kind of rating. I would definitely have this again if I could find it. But otherwise, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Piney, fruity kind of thing. It's definitely beer.
Mm-hmm.
Best review ever. It's definitely beer. It tastes like beer. And, it's one of those beers that you have to have at least 4 or 5 of in a sitting, because that's totally something you should do. Yeah. So, boys, are we feeling old? We got careers and we got all kinds of stuff. Are you feeling old?
You know what? I don't feel a day over, like, say, 20.
Okay.
I've been old since I was 6.
That is true.
Well, the reason I ask is because there was this article that came out, I don't know, actually on Sunday. And I thought that it was worth sharing. Let me share it on the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
And the question that it's asking is, when is it that we start to feel old? And the summary, according to the entire thing, is you are you're only old when you feel old. So it's age is state of mind, these kinds of things. Basically, everyone in this article said the same thing. So the body has a particular age. It has a biological age, of course, but the mind does seem to win out in these kinds of discussions. So, like you said, Alan, you don't feel like you're over the age of 20. What about you, Locke?
I feel like my girlfriend's not over 25. Hey, it's International Women's Day.
I suppose.
I think it's important to understand that it's not that I haven't fooled around with people twice my age. So the fact that I'm fooling around with people half my age is only natural.
Well, you could be an international movie star who trades up when they turn 30, is it? Or 25 or something?
I think it was 25-ish.
I gather that Leonardo DiCaprio seems to decide that he needs to have somebody who's really young, I guess. I'm actually looking up his the girlfriend chart. Yeah, here we go. So this is the Leonardo DiCaprio dating chart that basically gives you a close-up look. Now, I don't think this chart is updated for the latest, but let me find it here. Here we go. So if we were to look at our dating histories here and sort of figure this out. So according to this, so basically they start around the age of 20. And you see here the yellow line is Leonardo DiCaprio's age. And as he ages and ages and ages, like everybody else, the girlfriends sort of peak out at 25, and then they reset back to 20. So, what do you think of this? What is the situation here? Do you agree with this particular pattern of dating? Although, granted, I will point out these are full-grown women, and they are free to date Leonardo DiCaprio no matter how old he gets. So, but still,
I've heard of this. I really don't care. Whatever.
No, neither do I. These are all adults. They know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, ultimately, what I do see here and can relate to and feel a little bit sort of sorry for the guy for is that ultimately, it looks to me like 5 years is sort of a cap on how long people can hang out with DiCaprio and like after that, it's sort of like, maybe we're reshuffle.
It's like, yeah, dude, things aren't working out. We've had some good times, but it's time for me to leave. That's actually a very good point. That there are.
Is it kids or any of those baby mamas?
I don't believe so. I think
not, so if there's no kids to keep him around, then and if he wants to have kids, he's not going to be dating women that match his age going forward, right?
Okay. Right.
It's part of being realistic about this. At least it's it's less likely that there's going to be a no danger of complications in childbirth and that I think there's practical reasons why older men tend to date younger women. I think there's some of it's just biological.
Yeah.
True. So basically, our conclusion so far is that the world is fine and we are all not that old.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think so. Like, maybe I don't have the stamina that it used to have. Like on, say, on a Friday or Saturday night, I used to stay up routinely until 2, 3 in the morning. I don't do that a lot anymore. I find myself.
How early do you get up nowadays, Alan?
Well, I mean, to go to work, I'm getting up at 5:45.
Yeah, right. So, we weren't getting up at 5:45 when you were partying until 2 in the morning when you were younger.
Well,
were you?
You know what? I would party until 3 in the morning. I'd come home, get up at 6 in the morning to get ready to go to work. But I wasn't doing that every day.
Okay, yeah. Once in a while, sure, yeah. But I recall my behavior when I was younger, and I'd be up till 3 in the morning. Hell, I'd be up until 7 in the morning. And go to bed and wake up around noon.
Yeah, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. No, not anymore.
I don't remember actually. I mean, I know that I did that kind of stuff once in a while, but I don't think I never did on a regular basis. Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying.
You were the loser that I was hanging out with, who was dozing off at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, "Come on, let's go party," and you're like, "I'm tired.
I'm tired. I can't go out because I'm so young."
Meanwhile, our other friend is dozing off like an old man in the easy chair.
I think Todd was born at the age of 80 sometimes. Or maybe he was just smarter than we were. I mean, and that is entirely possible. that he knew when to get to sleep on.
Here's the thing, by the time we're all senior citizens, he's going to have had more practice at it than any of the rest of us.
This is true.
I think he eats prunes on a regular basis.
Oh, Christ.
I mean,
I don't even know if you're joking.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know.
To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if he did do that. That would be actually kind of amazing.
I tell you what, I'll start feeling old when I start getting arthritis or something like that, or I say I can't do something anymore because. But you know what? When it comes right down to it, I haven't really
today than I was when I was 25. No question about it.
Yeah,
better physical condition. More able to maintain sustained exercise, better lifting ability, like in every respect. I'm in better shape than I was when I was 25. I'm only getting stronger at this point. I know it won't probably last forever, but like right now is.
Well, that's actually funny you say that because I think I think when I was about 40 is when I really started to consider that I was aging, and so we did start working out a lot, like exercising quite often, stuff like that. And there's times where you go like 3 or 4 months, you don't exercise as much as you did, but then you get back into it, and it's not such a big deal. But I know in the last like few months, I've really definitely needed to, or had a desire to, like, I have a goal that by the time I hit 51, I want to be like ripped.
Okay.
I know it probably won't happen, but that's something that I'd like to try and give myself like a, because my birthday is what? 2 weeks away, roughly, just under that. Which reminds me, we missed our show last week.
We did.
And somebody here had a birthday last week. So we need to drink to this guy here in the middle.
Oh, Alan.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Alan.
51.
51. Yeah, I was a little distracted last week. It slipped my mind. So that's a thing that we have to start doing, I think. So all three of us here. I can't speak for Dave, but I know that he would probably want to get ripped.
You can't speak as well. Dave, but why not? Just do it.
But why not? I know we are strong men here. We are able to.
You know what makes me feel old is when I talk to adults that say I work with or whatever, and I mention something about like a reference to like something like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and they're like, "What's that?"
Yeah, that I know. That has been happening for a while, where you're trying
because they're so young.
Yeah, and they don't know the references, which is fine. Not everyone has to.
And they've never even heard of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How could they not hear it? Like, it's like
that TV show.
No. There's no question that there's something fundamentally wrong with millennials. Gen Zers would get that reference because for them that's like, oh, that's that retro shit. Yeah, that's the bomb, right?
I have heard that as well. Like, there's definitely an element to the cool factor. That definitely there is something wrong with that sort of. There's something wrong. There's something different about the millennials.
Ironically, Gen Zers would wear leopard print because it's leopard print.
Right.
But sometimes they miss on the meaning of things.
Oh shit! Yeah, no. It's like talking to a chatbot AI or whatever in that respect. It's sort of like it's sort of like they're like way into it, but for them it means something completely different. Yeah.
So I was working with this guy. I don't know if he was actually like Gen Z or whatever.
It would be Gen Z because we're Canadian.
Right, Gen Z. But I don't even know if he was that. I don't know where he kind of falls in between millennials. probably like right in the middle. Anyway, he had seen an episode of Three's Company.
Okay. Oh.
And he was saying about how he thought it was like really funny, and he wanted to watch more of it. And he was talking to me about it. And he's like, but I don't understand the premise. Like, why did Jack have to pretend he's gay? It's like because the landlord wouldn't allow boys and girls to live together unmarried under their roof. It's like, is that legal? can a landlord do that? And I was thinking, like, it probably wasn't even legal back then. Like the whole premise is kind of like,
it's certainly not statutorily sound in today's Ontario. I can assure you that the RTA
it probably wasn't sound back then either. Like, have a landlord say that people can't rent a place together because they're not married.
This is the States. They're like only a stone's from
California.
Well, yeah, there was that, and the because I think it was who was the first landlord? Was that Furley or was that the Ropers?
Yeah.
So the Ropers. So basically, the Ropers established that rule, and Furley continued it. Is that right?
Yes. The other thing to consider is that Three's Company was not an original thing. It was an American remake of an older British
right.
called Man About the House. So in that context, like we're starting to get into this, maybe the late 60s, early 70s there. And then you can maybe understand it a little bit because it's in ultra conservative England,
Yeah. No, I mean, there's still a bit backwards about that over there.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that context, I could totally get it. But interesting that we're talking about this. There was an article that I read recently that I kind of wanted to bring up tonight. Oh, yeah, there's the Man About the House. Right. I actually watched a couple of episodes. It was all right. Three's Company, actually, I thought was better, but maybe a different kind of humor. Anyway, there was an article with Jon Favreau recently. I can't remember who published it exactly, but it was talking about would Jon Favreau have any pull with Disney to be able to have the original theatrical releases of Star Wars re-released on Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jon Favreau said, aside from the hardcore fanboys like us, who would care? And then he listed off. It's like there's like each generation has their own version of Star Wars. For us, it's the original trilogy. But I mean, we're of the younger part of that group. So we're talking like, people who are, between 50 and say 70. Okay. And a lot of these people have other things that they're thinking of. Then there's the younger set who have the prequels. That's their Star Wars, right? And they were the ones that grew up watching the special editions.
So that's what's wrong with millennials. They grew up with the prequels and think that that's Star Wars.
Well, it's interesting because I was talking to a millennial guy one time, and we were talking about Star Wars, and I was like, well, Han shot first. He's like, I keep hearing people say this. No, he didn't. And I'm like, yeah, he did. He's like, and he cues it up on the TV. He goes, no, he didn't. I'm like, well, this is a re-release, right? Like, this isn't the original thing. But Jon Favreau is saying that so many people, so many Star Wars fans grew up with that version. To them, that is Star Wars.
True.
So if they were to re-release the originals, there would be way more people up in arms of going back to something that they're not familiar with than we would be.
Well, they might be up in arms about it, or they might not. It's sort of that's a difficult call to make, because here's an experience that I actually had while I was working at a liquor store. I went to a party at one of my coworkers' places one night, and so like. I pick on them, but millennials can be fun to party with. Back when they were 26, 27, 25. Yeah, sorry, I guess I'm pulling a DiCaprio here, but anyway, so there are these chicks there, right? And their only reference point for Indiana Jones was the Crystal Skull one. Ooh. And they were like, yeah, why do people like Indiana Jones? That seems lame. And so, to be fair, there in every generation are champions of goodness and truth. And one of them was, a millennial champion of goodness and truth who piped up and said, what the fuck are you talking about? Indiana Jones. Okay, I see the fucking problem here. You haven't seen fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark. And so he threw on Raiders of the Lost Ark. And so we're hanging out, and, like millennials do, puffing away, watching the opening to Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I hadn't seen it at that point probably in 10 years. And it was totally refreshing to watch that again with fresh eyes, with people that had never seen those scenes before and thought that Indiana Jones was a dork. And seeing that opening sequence, their eyes lightened up and they were like, oh my God, this is badass. This is awesome, right? Because originally Indiana Jones was, he wasn't just, an adventurous archaeologist. He was also a fucking badass, right? And that's the problem with today, is everybody's fucking walking on eggshells and can't be fucking badass. And the truth is, everybody wants people to be fucking badass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Julian's got a point.
That is true. The whole idea that you can't be a hero anymore. In a certain way, right? So you were saying, Alan?
Well, I have to say, in defense of some millennials, and Julian is right there about the parents. So I have a coworker. She's what we call my work wife, is a millennial. And she is not like most other millennials. She actually is aware of all these old things, and that's because her parents brought her up right and exposed her to everything. So she's like an old soul. If I talk about a band or a song or a movie or an old TV show, she knows about it. So not all millennials are like that.
Yeah. No. To be fair, there's a special brand of millennials who have long sort of shared those values. I'll tell you a little secret. If you're talking to a younger woman, say 25, and she starts bringing up, references to Uriah Heep, that one likes older guys.
So that is your Leonardo DiCaprio go-to.
If I'm talking to a 23 to 25-year-old and they're dropping Uriah Heep references, I'm guessing that's probably somebody that's not like, oh, older guys? Why would somebody date an older guy?
You ick.
I know there's definitely been,
dirty old man.
Dirty.
Dirty old man.
So basically you're saying that there is a problem with ageism in love. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not saying there's a problem with it. I'm saying that that it exists and
it does exist.
If for the aged, it's best to sidestep that ageism or use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Julian did make a comment a few minutes ago about seeing 20-something Suzanne Summers, who was very breathtaking when she was 20-something. Like, remember when she was in American Graffiti?
Oh, it's been a long time since
Suzanne Summers in fucking American Graffiti? Really?
She was. So remember, I can't remember the name of the character, but it was Richard Dreyfuss's character. Saw the blonde girl in the T-Bird, and he spent the whole movie trying to find her. She was the blonde girl in the T-Bird.
Oh, really? Right. Yeah. Okay, I can sort of see that. Yeah.
And of course, Harrison Ford was in it as well. And
yeah.
What a great movie, by the way.
Yeah. No, I mean, for something so aimless that it's
aimless.
It was
sometimes that's what a Friday night is like.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what an inspiration for, I'm thinking of, films like Suburbia and like
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused, totally. Yeah. Like I mean, it opened the gateway to a type of filmmaking that I think
it's like you're hanging out with
yeah. It's like a hangout session for sure. Yeah.
Julian saying, and a young Sybil Shepherd. Was Sybil Shepherd? You're not talking about American Graffiti here. Sybil Shepherd was not an American Graffiti, I don't think. Not that I'm aware of.
We're talking about Moonlighting Sybil Shepherd, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Julian, this is for you. Because you requested it. So here you go.
Here we go.
So there you go. There's the Suzanne Summers in American Graffiti.
That I totally see. Yeah. So it is.
And Sybil Shepherd, Sybil Shepherd in The Last Picture Show. Yeah, here you go.
And what has she done like lately? I mean, not that Suzanne Summers has done a lot lately, but
there you go. She is with a very young Jeff Bridges. Back in the day.
And that was taken from where?
The Last Picture Show.
Okay,
which is a 1973 movie, if I remember correctly.
Was that along similar lines?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite good. I've seen it a couple times. I'm trying to figure exactly when it came out, though. No, 1971. So, it's basically a.
There's a lot of hot women from back then.
Basically, it's sort of a Dazed and Confused for the late 60s, early 70s, kind of.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it has, it shares some traits like that with that. Oh, what did he say here?
Oh,
yeah, she does. But overall, I mean, the film is really good anyway. It doesn't matter that there's a naked Sybil Shepherd. But
how about Barbara Eden? Barbara Eden,
really? Okay. In what? In anything?
No, just in anything. Like, she was amazing.
Let me see.
I mean, we're getting before my time. I mean, this is like boomer, time. But man, she was something. And
Okay.
what's her name? From Bewitched.
Oh, her. Yeah, yeah.
So there's Barbara Eden for you.
Mm.
I believe this is the 60s before I Dream of Jeannie. But you never know.
But Barbara Eden looked good well after that. Yes,
Liz
Elizabeth
Montgomery. That's right.
Montgomery.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm.
And Julian says that he does dream of her.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're just ogling.
Now I feel like a dirty young man.
I just Googled Elizabeth Woman instead of Elizabeth Montgomery.
Tell you what, through life, I've never really been a Motley Crue fan, but the song "Girls, Girls, Girls" is amazing, and it works absolute magic when you're finishing up a bar tab and talking to the waitress. That comes on, it's sort of like all you need to do is give her a look, and it's sort of like, "Hi there."
Oh, why, hello there. How are you?
Oh, look at you. Yeah, you're
did
much
the
more.
did the AirPods show up?
No.
The other day, Locke, we were talking about what our dogs eat because our dogs,
Yeah, they eat it.
about two weeks ago, they sadly we left a block of butter on the coffee table.
Oh,
And it was gone pretty quick, and there was much projectile vomiting not long after that.
oh.
So I was telling this to Alan, and Alan said, "My dog is even stupider. Like it ate a car and a blanket and the next door neighbor. It's like what the hell." But the dog
Maybe
seems
not
to
those
survive.
things, but a couple of bags of marshmallows, AirPods, like in the case, like in the charging case.
Of course, yeah.
She had a little bit of fabric, like a blanket that was like about that big. And she had it in her mouth, and she's looking at me, and then it just went nope, and it was gone. Like no chewing, nothing. It was gone.
Yeah, just gone.
Because you know what? They're dogs and they're stupid.
What breed is she?
Husky and Shepherd Cross.
Husky Shepherd Cross. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you look up a picture of Elizabeth Montgomery?
Oh, right. That's what I was doing. I only brought up her Wikipedia page. I had forgotten that she died like a long time ago in 95.
Yes. Well, because they're all old now, and these people would have been well into their 90s or hundreds if they were still alive now.
Elizabeth Montgomery, I'm not sure what year.
Oh, yeah.
But even more so, there you go.
But who else was kind of hot back in the day? Mary Tyler Moore.
Who?
Yeah, no. She always had, she had a couple of things going for her. I mean,
don't most women?
Yeah, like tall, thin, kind of, pretty and all of that. But her hair was always sort of a bit like. Like it was the right side of sort of sexy librarian.
Yeah.
It'd always have like a good like doo-whoop kind of.
Yeah.
You know how women do the doo-whoop in their hair because that's a thing.
Oh, Mr. Grant.
And Mr. Grant. Oh my God, that totally. Wow, that totally brings me back. But here, I just thought this just popped into my head. Here we go. There we go. Ginger from Gilligan's Island.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would take Marianne any day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Marianne was better looking, but Ginger was the one that you would like. If you were going to go on like a mad bender, you know, that she'd be the one that would have the personality to back it up. Oh yeah, so much better looking, but mad bender, no, it's not going to happen. Is it?
No, she's like she's the one that would take you out to like the ice cream social and everything. Ginger's the one that would let you do it in the ass.
We lost Shane.
We did.
The ice cream social. Yeah, I guess. Oh my god. Yeah, that is totally not what I would have expected you to say. That's a fist bump worthy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't know how to recover from that.
I think you got to end it there at that point.
On that note, this show has devolved into ogling 1960s and 70s actresses.
Happy Women's Day.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, we're batting 1,000 there. But thank you all for watching. There's been a few people watching tonight. Hopefully we entertained you enough to. But if you missed the end, wow, you missed the. But we will see you all next week. And I
hope I never went to